Show your ride.
Hi.
This is your baby's mom.
Having a little fireside chat here with the West Coast boom bap king, Big Sono. Yay!
Hello, beautiful.
Hello, Big Sono. So, beautiful day
Gorgeous day.
and the perfect day to talk about Universoul.
Right here. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Literally went into this album, and I'm very proud of it. Proud of the response. Of people saying this is my best work. So I love it.
I absolutely agree that it is definitely your best work and it's definitely been a labor of love.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads me to my first question. So, Universoul, please tell us why you chose that title.
I chose the title because I think I spoke for the first time a universal language of something that everyone, if they haven't experienced it, they know someone who has experienced it, because I was very vulnerable in this album. I talked about being on my deathbed, talked about childhood trauma, I talked about recent disappointments and the people who I have on it. Kazi, Mofat from France, both of them. Shout out to them. Mofat brought Kazi to me. Santos, shout out to him for Philly. Akil, the MC. You know, from the Jurassic 5.
Definitely.
Uh,
Shout out to Taylor Graves.
Taylor Graves, my God.
He's doing great things.
Yeah, shout out to him. He did an amazing work on this new Mac Miller album. He blessed me.
Definitely.
Battle Cat.
Woo-hoo for Battle Cat.
My mentor.
Absolutely.
So it's a combination of everybody all around the world speaking universal language, which I could be honest, telling my story.
So I have a question for you. There was a pretty big gap between the last album and this album. Can you tell your fans the reason why there was a bit of a break there?
First, the break is because I fell in love with my beautiful wife, who happens to be, sitting beside me. And I just knew I had to get over being loved and stick to what I also love, which is music. And the first album, it didn't really portray that, which was Dinner for Breakfast. It didn't really portray my honesty. And I went through a health issue where I was pretty much on a deathbed.
Yes.
And what the doctors are saying, telling my wife, we give him 2 days to live.
God is good.
And 2025, I'm here. That happened in 2023. So, yeah, I went through a lot. I lost a lot of people. Rest in peace, Lil Sody. Rest in peace,
Little Sody.
Rest in peace,
D-Dash.
D-Dash. Oh, man.
Rest
I
in
mean,
peace,
I can't even
Keisha.
say it. Oh, my auntie Keisha. Like, it's just like,
And Nana.
yes, it's just like so many people that I lost where it was just like, I lost my focus. I lost everybody within a 4-year span, and it was hard to concentrate.
So here we are now, and can you tell me, I know what song resonates, for me, and what song resonates to you on this album?
Universoul. Because at that point in time, in the hospital bed, I don't know if I was going to be able to rap again. I knew I'd be able to make beats again, but I had a 8-inch tube in my chest getting dialysis for 8 months.
That's right.
Every morning. I was up 4 in the morning, be there at 4:30 in the morning, sit there watching my blood go into this machine and go right back into my body every like 4 times a week. And I wasn't concerned about rapping. I was concerned about living.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
I knew that God was putting me on time out to put things in perspective. And I did that. I would say tequila was a poison for me.
And let's give it up for this,
Yes.
because it's almost been 2 years.
Yes, no tequila.
So that's what I love about this album, is the testimony. It's
Yes.
a true journey,
Yeah.
a true journey about, starting at one point and coming out the other end. And I think that's what resonates with me, is that every song is telling a story, a message of hope, redemption,
Yeah.
recovery.
Yeah.
And on a fun note, I love the fact that Tragic happens to be one of my favorite songs. And
Yes.
Why don't you tell the people how we went from Tragic to, Uppies? It's quite an interesting
Tragic
story.
is a story that I think nowadays a lot of males will be able to identify with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because in my days, not to sound like I'm some old aged guy, but there was no OnlyFans then. So that's why I mentioned the OnlyFans naming it. So it's just like about how you can try to take, I don't want to say the word, but the word into a housewife. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you will, they will destroy your soul. So it's a warning shot.
It is a warning shot.
It's not a celebration song, but
It's
it is
definitely
very
not.
fun and very happy.
Upbeat.
Yes,
It is.
and shout out to Kasi for that.
It's a lot of fun, and
Yeah.
I definitely think there's a track on here for everyone. There's not
Yeah.
something that someone won't
Don't
understand
resonate
or
with.
resonate with. Definitely a labor of love.
It is. It is. What else do you want to know? What other song did you like?
I really like the song "The Days We Live In." I think that song means a lot to me. It really gets deep into some of the issues that are going on in the world, especially here with race relations and, just discrimination. And I think it's really important, the propaganda that we're seeing on TV. And we come to believe that maybe, love doesn't exist. But I would say that song resonates so much with me that, reaching out to each other and loving each other. And that's probably one of my favorite songs.
And Days We Live In is very close to my heart. I shouted out my brother Chicasso, rest in peace, Chicasso, who I probably wouldn't be doing music if it wasn't for him. He mixed and mastered my first mixtape. I couldn't get nobody else to do it. He was sure You know what I'm saying? Just come from a session 6 in the morning. You know, and I would let him sleep in my bed and I'd go sleep in the living room. You know what I mean? He told me, he was like, Sono, once this album come out, this mixtape come out, people just gonna give you beats. And he prophesied that. And then I was just getting beats from everywhere. So I really miss my brother, my April Fool's brother. But what I talked about is still going on now. And I actually wrote that song 5 years ago, but it's still relevant now. That's the only song that is an old song that I, you know.
Yeah, and that.
But I re-recorded it with my new voice. You know what I mean? I didn't use the same vocals that I did when I did it 5 years ago, but it's crazy. 5 years ago, I'm still talking about the same thing that's still going on now. And the minister, what was his name? Who I sampled in there, in the voice. Minister, what was it? Muhammad?
Yeah.
Something?
Yeah. Nuri. Mohammed Nuri.
Yes.
That's his name. Mohammed
Yes.
Nuri, yes.
And I'm not Muslim, but I'm spiritual. But what he said resonated to me so much. And shout out to SS $2X.
Hey,
I think
SS.
that's his name because he switches his name so much. Celine. You know what I'm saying? His mama call him Clay. I'm going to call him Clay. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, SS.
But as you know, as did his thing with that beat, and yeah, I really love that song too. That's why I held on to it for so long, because I was like, it's not the time to drop it yet. It's not the time to drop it. And then me going through my health scare, I was like, oh, it's time to drop it.
Definitely.
How did you like Uppies?
I love Uppies.
What
I
is
love
Uppies about?
Uppies is about, me. Which is my least favorite thing to talk about. Me, right?
But
Coming
what
from
is
the
the
Leo.
description of Uppies?
Uppies is just unconditional
No.
love.
What is Uppies?
Oh, yeah. That's right. I forgot. Uppies.
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 This is what they call them in
Literally.
New York. I lived in New York. Shout out to East New York. Shout out to Brooklyn. Shout out to Bradford and Miller. I was out there for a year. But when I was out there, they be like, yo, son, you go get some Uppies? So out here we call them Air Force Ones. In other places, Air Force Ones, but in New York they call them Uppies. So when I buy my wife some Uppies, some white ones, some black ones, I buy her some too. So it's just showing
Appreciation.
appreciation, love. Like, I want her to be fresh like me.
So one more song I'd like to talk about, because it is a deep song, even though it's, totally has the Big Sono spin on it, is Changing, and Box did an amazing song with you.
Oh
And
yeah, shout out to Box.
I think that song is
Beyond extraordinary.
right. I think that song's
That's my big
really
brother.
important, because it talks about, a journey.
You were saying, you sure you want to say that?
Yes. I did question if you wanted
But-
to
But I really,
speak your truth.
I really dug deep into my history from my first recollection of life to today. And it's the most honest song I ever made. I don't want to spoil it. I just want
Yeah.
you to listen to it, Changing. And
Yes.
Box, I knew he was the perfect one. That's
Sure
like
did.
my MC mentor right
Yep.
there. So he's the perfect one. I was like, yeah, Box has to get on here because he always knows where I'm coming from, and he will match me.
Absolutely.
You know, and and the song is doing
It is
very
doing
well.
very well. Very proud of that. So, Big Sono, Universoul,
Mhm.
out on all platforms.
All platforms.
All platforms.
And hard copies are available. Yeah, right there. Front, back. Get a signature. All that. And yeah.
Our labor of love.
Labor of love. And all praise goes to God. Because I would not be here right now if it wasn't for him.
And shout out to Hookman. Yay.
Oh.
Big
So what's
brother.
his name?
Joshua.
No, Joshua.
No, Joshua.
No, Joshua.
Joshua. Ooh.
Yes, yes, get it right. Hookman, Damaged Goods.
That's right.
This is my Damaged Goods brother.
And we appreciate you
he
so
always
much.
comes through for me. He's always have. He always will. And shout out to
Everybody.
April Fools, Damaged Goods. Everybody who's helped me in this path.
And stay tuned.
Now don't forget a loaf of bread, a container of milk, and a stick of butter. Butter.
Yeah.
We got a couple features on there. Cam?
Puppies. Shout out to Cam, my man. Cam Payne, Cam Tilbert. That's my guy. He did Uppies chorus and he did Days We Live In chorus. That's my go-to when I'm not using my funky voice for a chorus and I want that angelic voice. That's my man. The goods.
And he's on 2 songs, right?
Yeah, I just named them both.
Got it.
Uppies and Days We Live In and Boki Low.
Okie.
My big bro, he's on Sono Cat. And another
Amazing.
Another mentor of mine, Amazing with the Beast. Another angelic voice that I go to when I need that type of real R&B and soulish flavor. And he's amazing.
Definitely.
And shout out to Tega.
Yeah, Tyga. Super talented. Young and
Yeah.
talented.
Yeah, drop an album, bro. Come on, quit playing.
That's right.
All right.
Because we've
And
got some
shout
more
out
stuff
to my
coming
homie
up.
Slag Dog, who mixed
Yes.
and mastered this.
Yes, amazing.
That's my guy.
Mix and master.
Shout out to Indiana.
That's right.
Yo. Peru, Indiana.
Anybody else that we might have
Yeah,
overlooked?
if we missed you, you know, you're
all
in my
have
heart.
one.
I'm
That's
sorry,
right.
but we on the time limit. But you know, anybody who's been a part of my process from the beginning to the end, you know, I love you all, man. I
That's
appreciate
right.
all of you.
And look forward to new things and new opportunities and new blessings, and super excited for what the future holds and for you and I. Always, right?
Always and forever. Yeah.
Got niggas from South Central to Oceanside on the free